104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. We are joined on the phone by USA Today's Christine Brennan. Christine, about to cover, what is this, your 17th opening ceremony for the Olympics?
That's right, guys. Yeah, I'm talking to you from Rio, from USA Today's offices in the main press center in Rio, and I've got my ticket in hand. You have to have a ticket as well as your credential for some of the big events, and obviously the opening ceremony is one of the biggest events that you could possibly have. And I started in LA in 1984, haven't missed one since, and I am just thrilled as could be to be here covering all this and going to the opening ceremonies tomorrow. I kind of think back. I grew up in the suburbs of Toledo, Ohio. What would 18-year-old me have thought of this? And that guides me even when there's tough news and big stories and controversy, as there always is. And this Olympics has had more probably than any Olympics going into it that I can remember. And yet I'm still that 18-year-old kid going, this is pretty cool.
Well, Christine, you bring it up. Let's get right to it. You've covered the Olympics since '84. Is this the most
84.
turmoil that you've ever seen while covering Olympics?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And certainly the laundry list, as I know all your listeners know and you guys know, has been extraordinary when you think of the Zika virus, water pollution, the crime and the just street crime and the general activity in the city, a big bustling city of over 6 million, and those issues, of course, then the political upheaval, impeachment of a president, then the economic downturn, recession bordering on depression, infrastructure issues, some things collapsing, bridge collapsing, part of the sailing venue collapsing. Will the trains and the metro, the subway system all work? That's 6 things I think that I just mentioned, and that 6 does not include terrorism, which of course sadly is always an issue and always a concern at anything these days in the world, much less an Olympics. So that's about as many as I can remember. But like so many Olympics where we're concerned about Seoul, North Koreans opening floodgates and flooding the city of Seoul in '88, and Athens in 2004, guys, it was a home game for the terrorists. First summer games after 9/11, right there in the Mediterranean, no problems at all. Seoul never happened. Athens never happened. Beijing, the pollution, no problems. No one ever keeled over from that. In 2014 in Sochi, the terrorism threat extraordinary in Georgia and those republics right near Sochi. Nothing bad happened. So let's keep our fingers crossed that once again we'll have all this talk before the games and then nothing bad will happen. I'm certainly hopeful. We have no idea. Check with me August 21st. But right now it does have the feel of another Olympics, and people are happy. The athletes seem happy. I talked to some in the village the other day, and I have to say that other than the traffic is as bad as advertised, but other than that, there's so many things that seem just like another Olympics to me that it's almost remarkable that it seems to be coming together again. First impressions, knock on wood. No idea if that will remain the case, but so far, pretty good for Rio as it's preparing with about 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours to go to the opening ceremony.
I mean, what is your impression of the facilities and how ready they are?
So far, so good. I mean, little things, which are big things for us, but the food situation, the cafeteria situation in the media village, media center, where I am right now, the press center, is the worst I've ever seen. Grab and go is stand and stay. 45 minutes of grab and go. They just don't have enough. But no one wants to hear about media complaints about food. So I'm wrapping up some breakfast meat and cheese that they have out for breakfast, which is lovely at my hotel, and then putting that into rolls, and that's my lunch. But that's an example again. No one wants to hear any media complaints, but that is really extraordinary how bad the planning is in the media area for food. I've never seen anything like it. So there's that. But then going over to the Olympic Village, as I did 2 days ago, talking to athletes, by the way, folks can see it on Instagram at @CBrennanSports, Sports, also on Twitter at @CBrennanSports, Sports, and Facebook, Christine Brennan. All these videos from the Olympic Village, you can see what it looks like. The Australians, like the U.S., have amazing facilities, great pools, gorgeous mountains, Chariots of Fire theme playing as these couple of female Australian athletes running. It looked like right out of the movies. And I've got that all on videos online. So it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. The athletes are happy. The Americans are happy. And so, again, little things, the traffic issues, you have to really be in an Olympic vehicle to try to get around town. The Olympic lanes are there, and they're wide open, and you can sail on those if you're an Olympic car or an Olympic bus. If you're in traffic in a cab, that could be 2 hours to go 10 miles. So it's just being smart and doing the right things. But for the athletes and for so far the media, except for this food situation, which, a lot of media people could probably lose a few pounds, so maybe it's going to be a good thing. That's minor. I mean, again, I'm just telling you it because it's a real thing, but it's minor in the scheme of things. The athletes are happy, well-fed. Americans are really happy. Again, we would not necessarily have expected that with one day to go to the opening ceremony.
Christine Brennan of USA Today joining us right here on 104.5 The Team. Christine, when we talk about all the potential issues, what kind of difference in security are you seeing for the athletes and for the members of the press?
Well, I will say this. When I landed at Rio, and to compare it to Sochi, for some reasons, it was weird in Sochi, but great, partially because it was all made as an Olympic city. So the entire thing was just made for the Olympics. It wasn't like Rio or London or L.A. where you have a city and then you put the Olympics in. Sochi, the town of Adler, was just the Olympics. Mm-hmm. So, of course, that was a built-in security benefit. But it took me, I think, close to a week. I'd have to go back and look on Twitter. Close to a week to see my first gun in Sochi. And that sounds like a weird thing to say, but I expected it to be an armed camp. I did not see that. It took me minutes in Rio. Wow. In the airport, right away, machine guns. And by the way, this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. I mean, Sochi and Putin, as we know, Russia, it's not our kind of country, and it's not our kind of freedom. So Rio is much more like the United States, much more like London and Canada, Vancouver in 2010. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, you're going to have a freer society, which is what we want. We certainly don't want Putin involved with anything in our lives, and his awful regime. And so, what was a benefit there in Sochi? No guns that I didn't see, and then we did finally see some rifle-toting people,
sure,
and in the venues. But with Rio, gun presence, and then again, I put pictures on Twitter and Instagram. Within, got in a cab, and oh my gosh, every few blocks you'd see an armored vehicle, a military vehicle, some kind of security vehicle, and then officers or soldiers standing outside with armed at the ready with machine guns in their hands. This is on the highway in from Rio, the airport, international airport to the city. So very different, but I don't think that's bad. I think that's our reality in this new world with ISIS, and I think I'm all for it. It's not scary at all. It's a way of life. You live, the sun's up, it's beautiful here, and you just move on. So I'm not at all. I'm actually comforted by that as opposed to being concerned about it.
Christine, what's the details that you broke about the U.S. swim relay team?
I'm able to break this Monday morning, and again, folks can find. I don't mean to keep a broken record, but it's all there. If you just Google my name or go to Twitter or at C. Brennan Sports or Instagram. Well, I guess Instagram wouldn't have this story, but anyway, I was able to break the news that Michael Phelps and Katie Ledecky, who are going to be the two big stars in swimming for the U.S. and two of the biggest stars at the Games for the U.S. on the cover of Sports Illustrated, they are both going to have a chance to win another medal. They're going to put Michael Phelps in the 4x100 men's freestyle relay. That's Sunday night. Big night in swimming, because not only will the U.S. men be going against France trying to win the gold, the U.S. men are not favored to win the gold. I know that shocks people, but the French are really good. But then Katie Ledecky will be in one of her signature events, the 400 freestyle, also Sunday night. Huge night in swimming at the pool. And then on Saturday morning, Ledecky, who is a distance swimmer, is going to be in the preliminaries of the women's 4x100 freestyle relay. So she will swim the preliminaries. The finals are Saturday night in the women's 4x100. Australia should win the gold. The U.S. will fight it out for the silver. But Ledecky will not be in the Sunday night event. But if you swim the prelims, you get the same medal as the nighttime swimmers. So that would be another medal for Katie as well. Bottom line for both Ledecky and Phelps, expect 5 medals for each. They should medal in all 5 of their events. Ledecky is much more rock solid for gold. She should absolutely win the 400 and the 800. Should win the 200 freestyle as well. That would be 3 gold, and then the 4x200 freestyle for the American women should be gold. So if all goes well for Ledecky, it's 4 gold and 1 silver. Just guessing here. And then Phelps, a little bit tougher in the 100 fly and the 200 fly for him. Lots of competition. But I'll figure give him 1 gold out of that, a gold in the 200 IM, and then hopefully a gold or silver in those two in the 2 relays that he'll be in. So there you go. So more Phelps, more Ledecky. NBC loves it, and I think all the fans love it too, to see them in another event that we had not anticipated they'd be in, but that I was able to find that out and get that out there on Monday. And so that's another bonus for swimming fans and American sports fans.
Christine Brennan from USA Today live in Rio for the Olympics, and you can, of course, follow her on Twitter at @CBrennanSports. Christine, so the swimming details are great, but what's the event that you are most excited about? With all the Olympics you cover, you've got to have a favorite.
Well, it's only the opening ceremony. I mean, I've been as critical of the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. This Russia thing is just a fiasco. There's no way the state-sponsored doping machine should be allowed to march into this opening ceremonies tomorrow night, but they will. It's just awful. It's just absolutely the worst thing ever. The IOC just totally gagged and punted it, and it was just a terrible lack of leadership from the oldest of the old boys network. No surprise. They're friends with Vladimir Putin.
Sure. He
spent $51 billion to put the Olympics in the middle of nowhere in Sochi in 2014. That's a great gift, and they repaid the gift by not kicking out the Russians. So having said all that, I will still probably have a moment where I have tears in my eyes at the opening ceremonies, thinking what would 18-year-old me, as I said, would have thought of this. I would have hoped to go to one Olympics as a fan, and here I'm on my 17th in a row and 17th opening ceremony, and it is the largest regularly scheduled peacetime gathering in the world. And it's pretty cool when all those nations walk in, and you do have a little hope that things are okay when that happens. So the opening ceremony, without a doubt, is it for me. And then really the pool, because every day you have major races, and they're giving out gold medals and silvers and bronze galore. You have medal ceremonies, you have anthems being played, and it's just nonstop activity. Swimming venue is just absolutely the greatest in terms of news and stuff happening and results. And you have the instant result, the medal ceremonies, and then you have people like Phelps and Ledecky, Ryan Lochte, Missy Franklin, who are just and Nathan Adrian, some of the hugest stars of these games. So it's pretty fun. I think I got to pick swimming as a sport, and then gymnastics is going to be huge with Simone Biles and the U.S. women's team, and then the team sports: U.S. women's soccer, U.S. women's basketball hasn't lost since 1992. Unbelievable. Men's basketball, of course, you probably heard about them, and women's 8 rowing. The women's. This is Team Title IX. Far more women than men on this team. 555 overall U.S. athletes, 292 of them women. If anyone doubted the success of Title IX and the power of Title IX, it's right there on your television set as you watch that team walk in. The U.S. women will win more medals than the men, again, just as they did in London. They won over 60% of the U.S. medals. Anyone who doesn't like Title IX, if you're cheering for the American Olympic team, you love Title IX, because this would not be happening without that law signed by Richard Nixon in June of '72. So we're watching history and through our culture, and Title IX work its magic in fantastic ways for the U.S. team.
Christine Brennan from USA Today at @CBrennanSports on Twitter, live in Rio. Follow her if you want to know exactly what's going on for the Olympics. Thank you so much for taking time for us today.
Oh, guys, my pleasure. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks, Christine.